Welcome. My name is Melissa Secord, and I'm proud to serve as the CCA's National Executive Director. I'd like to take you through a 2019 year in review. Our mission is to empower Canadians with celiac disease and gluten disorders to live their best lives. Our work is founded upon three core values: empathy, integrity, and adaptability. For the past 4 years, CCA has been focused on five priority areas: access to safe food, enhance quality of life, increase awareness, improve diagnosis rates, and strengthen the community. Access to safe food. The ability to identify gluten-free foods is crucial for a person with celiac disease or gluten disorder in order to remain healthy. The ability to read labels is one of the first skills a newly diagnosed individual or family member must acquire to navigate the gluten-free diet. A number of years ago, CCA successfully advocated along with other food allergy groups for priority allergen labeling. Unfortunately, the beer industry had successfully lobbied for an exemption. Thankfully, Health Canada decided to review this decision along with the standards review. The allergen community groups actively participated in the stakeholder consultations, and as a result, beer will no longer be exempt starting in 2022. Changes to vodka standards were also made in a similar move, and allergy warnings will also be included on those products. In addition to beverage labeling, CCA continues to be active in stakeholder consultations for self-care products such as vitamins and over-the-counter health products and gluten in prescription medications. Precautionary labeling continues to be a challenge for our community. So CCA launched a market research survey last spring to quantify the understanding or lack of understanding of precautionary labeling, such as may contain. Thanks to our financial support from CCA's Edmonton chapter and our J.A. Campbell Research Fund, we undertook the survey. In just 24 hours, over 1,200 surveys had been completed, and after 1 week, 2,300. The results, released at CCA's State of Celiac Leadership Forum, highlighted the challenges our community faces every day. The results demonstrated the confusion and the concern, they called it gluten roulette, when they go grocery shopping, shows our community that more work needs to be done. Following the survey results, CCA's Professional Advisory Council member Shelley Case, who was the lead author on the survey, provided a free webinar on the topic to help individuals learn more and help them navigate their grocery stores. This work then led to CCA's Dietitian Working Group to start the development of a label reading guide, which will be released in early 2020. Food is constantly evolving. This is why it's key that our community have a national advocate. As a key stakeholder, CCA was invited to participate in the Health Canada's Future of Food and Nutrition Summit to stay abreast of information and innovations, but also have a voice to ensure food safety is paramount. Speaking of food safety, CCA is proud to continue to lend its name to the gluten-free certification program. For people with celiac disease and gluten disorders, they can shop with confidence when they see this mark on a product. No need to stop and read the label here. It is headed now by one of the world's leading standards management programs companies, BRCGS. GFCP carries over 6,000 products from 150 companies and growing, from major brand partners such as Sobeys, Loblaw, Dare, Robin Hood, and Promise Gluten Free, to smaller startups. You can find more gluten-free food than ever before, and it's never tasted so good. To date, 23 food establishments carry the GF Verified or GF Dedicated banner in establishments such as camps, university mess halls, to gourmet restaurants. Check them out at the program's new website at gffinder.com. 3 years ago, CCA partnered with the Gluten-Free Food Program to take the same principles for the GF products to restaurants. This remains a challenging area as restaurants have high staff turnover and very low margins. 2019 saw the completion of a 3-year funding grant from Agri-Food and Agriculture Canada. The grant funded research into the ways to bring non-gluten containing grains such as hemp, pulses, and oats to market. The result was the development of new standards that can now be found in the gluten-free certification program. More work is needed for more independent third-party research into the handling of safe grains. Enhancing quality of life. For the first time ever, CCA hosted a multi-stakeholder leadership conference in Toronto. The State of Celiac Disease and Gluten-Free in Canada brought together leaders from research, government, industry, and the community to discuss the major challenges that still face the gluten-free community. The event stimulated great discussion on food safety, innovation, upcoming research, trials, and more. You can watch the conference highlights on CCA's website or YouTube channel. CCA is here for you, and thanks to our generous donors and partners, CCA now has a registered dietitian on staff 1 day per week to field calls and emails from individuals needing help with celiac disease or gluten disorders. Awa joined us in January 2019 and has fielded over 1,500 emails and 500 calls. She also delivers our monthly Gluten-Free 101 webinar sessions and is helping us with our education programs. You can reach Gori at askthecca@celiac.ca or client support at celiac.ca. Since 2000, CCA has invested over 300,000 Canadian research to help improve the lives of people living with celiac disease and gluten disorders. In 2019, 2 researchers received grants. We look forward to their results. Is your child growing up with celiac disease? We'd like to help. Thanks to the generosity of ConAgra, the makers of Udis and Glutinos, and a grant from Butel Goodman and our Nova Scotia chapter. CCA redeveloped a family resource into a 20-page workbook to help families with newly diagnosed children navigate their new reality. The workbook has 3 companion videos that are now available on CCA's website. The workbook is free. And nearly 2,000 copies of the workbooks were delivered to families and hospital clinics across Canada. We look forward to having it translated into French in 2020. CCA is pleased to continue delivering education and support through our online publications. In May 2019, we launched Better Living Gluten-Free, a monthly newsletter that provides tips, news, and updates to over 28,000 individuals. Our newly rebranded Canadian Celiac magazine is issued 3 times a year and contains lifestyle, news, longer interviews, and research updates, along with great recipes and news from CCA. Bonjour! We are very thankful to receive a substantial gift from our Quebec chapter to help offer our bilingual website once again. After our rebranding in 2017, we lacked the funds to translate our site into French. The need will always continue to keep our site up to date and current in both official language. Merci, Quebec. Increase awareness. May is Celiac Disease Awareness Month, and thanks to our lead partner, Promise Gluten-Free, CCA was able to launch an awareness campaign to help alert Canadians to the signs and symptoms of celiac disease. The month featured 4 individual stories and their atypical journeys.
It's hard when I hear people laugh and mock people who are off gluten for whatever reason. My type of celiac disease causes me to break out into super painful lesions on my face. And for me, it holds me hostage in my home. But I've been given my life back because I got to the bottom of it. And I know I'm not alone. It's not a death sentence, it's a life sentence, really.
Green is the international color for celiac disease, so we had some of Canada's iconic towers and structures display green lights to help us shine a light on gluten disorders. Chapter members gathered outside some of the sites to offer giveaways and do selfies, a great community opportunity. Once the dust settled, and with modest budget, thanks to our partner Promise Gluten-Free, we made an impression among some Canadians, earning 13 million media impressions, over 166,000 social media reaches, 215,000 plus video impressions, and lots of social interactions. Reaching new audiences is harder and harder, but we won't ever give up to help those individuals who might have celiac disease or gluten disorder get diagnosis they need and on to a better good life of good health. And as we are a growing community, we are pleased to be helping more people than ever before get accurate information to help empower them. CCA's Facebook group is one case in point where we've seen an explosion. We are pleased to offer this online support group moderated by CCA volunteers and staff. Many thanks to Linda Marie Nielsen of Vancouver for shepherding this group last year. It's an active group with 80% of individuals posting hundreds of posts each month. Improving diagnosis. On average, it still takes 10 years for a person with celiac disease to receive an official diagnosis. Thanks to volunteers like Shelley Case and Dominique Gadruchik, CCA is helping to educate family doctors and other healthcare professionals understand the early signs and begin screening earlier. Our CCA Professional Advisory Council has developed evidence-based tools and resources, such as the new Gluten Challenge Guideline, to help medical community help their patients. A barrier to diagnosis remains in Ontario, the last province in Canada that does not cover direct access to the IgA-TTG blood test, which is the first step in a diagnosis. CCA continues to advocate to government leaders, and last May we sent another delegation in recognition of Celiac Disease Awareness Month to Queen's Park, Ontario's Legislative Assembly, where we met government leaders including Doug Ford. Work continues to help Ontario join the rest of Canada, and thanks to so many supporters, we delivered over 2,500 petitions that day. We couldn't do the work we do without the generous donor support. From individual donations to team efforts like our Scotiabank Charity Challenge events pictured here, every dollar helps us deliver programming support to people across Canada. The CCA made the first move away from traditional membership. We now more than ever will rely on donor support from more families like the Davis family. The Davis family welcomed visitors to their Caledon, Ontario sunflower farm, and with every entry fee donated $1 to CCA. In just 3 short weeks, over $16,000 were generated in support of CCA to help support the gluten-free community.
Hi, my name's Sean Davis from Davis Family Farm, and this is Weston Davis from Davis Family Farm. Our story begins when Weston turned 1 year old. He became very, very sick. For 8 months we were trying to find a solution of what was making him so sick, and we finally got a blood test done, and it was positive for celiac disease. So we went for an endoscopy, and it was confirmed that celiac disease was the issue that he was having. And he went from not growing at all to about a month later, he was a normal little boy once he got onto a gluten-free diet. So that has inspired us to do something with the sunflowers that we have here at the farm. We have people coming to visit the farm, and $1 out of every admission goes towards Celiac Association. And it's been a great success for us. We love the ability to raise some money for an organization that touches our family so close, and we were able to raise over $15,000 this year just through doing $1 from every admission that we've charged. And I should remind that through Weston celiac disease, I was able to find out that I had celiac disease as well. So it really hits home. And we just love the ability to help out such a great organization.
Where our money comes from. Just over a majority of our funding comes from individual Canadians and companies. As we shift the focus away from membership, we have increased partnerships and sponsorships as well to help deliver services and resources. And thanks to this support, we had an incredible year and we're very grateful. Where our money goes. We are a knowledge-based organization, and as such, our program delivery and development is our greatest expenditure as we deliver tools, information, and resources across Canada. The true stars of CCA are the individuals who give back to the community through their generosity. We can't thank you all enough because without you, there would be no CCA. From chapters to individuals, every donation adds up to help deliver education and advocacy, new resources, and peer support to those who need our help. And we are very pleased to have these companies and foundations support our community. Our sponsors are Gold, partnering with CCA to deliver needed resources like Takeda, one of the industry's leading companies working to find a treatment for celiac disease. Their partnership supported the development of a new gluten-free guidebook that will be released in early 2020. Our trusted partners like Promise Gluten Free delivered more than just great gluten-free bakery products, but helped CCA deliver more awareness to new people. West Oak Naturals, makers of gluten-free only oats, met the challenge and supported CCA Scotiabank Charity Challenge in a major way. Is there a doctor in the house? In a gluten-free kitchen, it might be Dr. Oker or Dr. Scher. Thank you for the support of our education this year. The strength of CCA is in its people, and to the volunteer leaders who have stepped up, leaned in to help CCA forge ahead with confidence. Our Professional Advisory Council is known worldwide for its active work in developing evidence-based guidelines and resources. And last but not least, the small but hardworking professional team that supports the work of our volunteers. I'm very grateful to have the pleasure of working with them each day. Nisha Paul, Gori Bawa, and Francis Fernandez. I hope you enjoyed our year in review, and we hope it gave you an overview of the key priorities and the work being done thanks to the generosity of our donors and supporters.